Hey Cougar fans, this is Kevin here. Just wanted to share with you a little information about the game tonight, give you my sense of how it's going to go, and give you a sense of why the Cougars are going to win this one in a close one. To start with, this is their first game, the Cougs' first game in the Big 12 tournament this year. They're playing BYU, who has already played two games, and for a team that really relies on one star and a bunch of other good guys, could be a little tiresome for them to muster up the energy they need when they play probably the most ferocious defense in the Big 12, which are our Houston Cougars. I really do think that AJ DeBonza is going to make a big splash, but he's there. But overall, BYU is going to come up short. Now, remember, U of H played BYU earlier in the season, and yes, we did win, and yes, it was at BYU when we did win, and they were at full strength. They had a player by the name of Richie Saunders, who, by the way, was injured and out for the season in the middle of February some point in time, but he was still such a good player for BYU Cougars that he was named to the second team All-American, which is an amazing feat considering he missed about six games in the season there towards the end. But in any case, they're missing him, and AJ DeBonza since then has had to really step up his game, and so have some of the players on BYU. So don't be surprised if they put on a big rush or a big rally, or even if they're close or ahead at halftime, because I really do think that they have enough talent to make it close for a while. And I really personally think DeBonza is the best basketball player in college this year. And anything is possible with him. But again, three games in 3 nights against a team like Houston that's really going to pressure the ball and pressure them could be an uphill battle with about 10 minutes to go. Now, after Richie Saunders got hurt, they lost 3 games in a row, and they ended the season on a 3 game winning streak, including the 2 games they played here in the Big 12 tournament. So they've kind of figured some things out. The problem for them is their bench. Their bench is slim. Basically, now that they're down a great player in Saunders, a great starter in Saunders, so their bench is down a little bit. Their depth is down a little bit. Now, our depth should come through and help out. The problem I'm going to have with Houston is number one, they are a young team, so maybe they come out a little on the flat side of the iceberg because they're just young and they don't maybe understand the intensity of tournament play, especially going into the big dance and the Big 12 tournament. Now, when we played BYU the first time, there was a little bit of a problem with AJ DeManza. The reason there was a problem is very simply because Sinak got into foul trouble. All right, that's the problem. Now, with Sinak guarding DeBonza again this time, which is the way I think it's going to go, hopefully he stays out of foul trouble. But when DeBonza really went off in that game was when Sinak was on the bench. So it tells me a little bit of something. Maybe Sinak has a little bit of DeBonza's number. If I'm not mistaken, they played against each other several times before going to college, and Sinak actually started out as a higher recruit than DeBonza, but over the course of the last 2 years prior to college, DeBonza really came on. So maybe Sinek plays with a little bit of a chip on his shoulder to really push the Cougs ahead in this one. But the other thing that I really think is going to be an important piece to this game is the bench. McCarty came through last time and just really, really played well, scoring 20 points in the last game the Cougars played, which was prior to this tournament. So I really think he's going to be the sixth man off the bench that's really going to make a difference if Sinak gets into trouble, which is great. The question I have about the bench, though, is where is Isaiah Harwell? And where is Ramon Walker? They did not even play in the last game of the season, and their minutes have been going down since the middle of the season. But other than that, the bench is pretty strong, and I'm really looking forward to this game. Personally, I do think the Cougs may come out slow, first half slow, second half slow, but the second half of the second half, with about 10 minutes to go, I think that's when you might see tired legs on the BYU side and more confidence and more strength from the Houston Cougars as they go into the last 10 minutes of that game. So expect the Cougs to win. I think they're an 8.5 favorite. I'm going to pick them to win about 10, 12 points in this game. We don't need a big game from anybody. We just need to make sure that we don't get into foul trouble and keep everybody on the floor. And I think if we can focus our attention on Nbanza and make the rest of the team stand up for themselves, we may see a good game towards the end here. But again, I think the Cougars rule in this one somewhere in the 75 to 60-ish range, 65 range, somewhere in there. Anyway, Kevin, seventh floor Cougs. Go Cougs. We'll see you next time.